Hello everybody and welcome to the Creafoam channel. My name is Hans and today I'm going to show you the different foaming techniques. This is the handheld device. We use a heat gun and that's between 300 and 400 degrees Celsius, or in Fahrenheit between 570 degrees and 750 degrees. This one is another model. Here you can adjust temperature and also the airflow. This one is mounted on a stand. We have a video on how to do that. It's very easy. The advantage of this is that you can use both your hands. First technique, two pieces on top of each other. We take the heat gun. I'm going to remove this mat. You let it heat for a little bit so it reaches the desired temperature, and then you heat both pieces together so the air goes in between. That's it. I'll show you again. This is real time, it only takes a fraction of a second. You can see it's very strong. You have to use a lot of force. You have to actually tear this if you want to tear it apart. There's also no need to push or to use a lot of force. Once the two pieces stick, they stick. And you really have to use force to get them apart. So now the same technique again, but with the stands. You can see I have both hands available. When you're practicing, the only things that you can adjust are the distance to the machine and the time that you heat the material. So that's up to you to practice it a little bit. Every machine has its own distance and own timing. The second technique is in a 90-degree angle. So it's important that both pieces are cut cleanly and in a straight line. Again, you have to heat both pieces, so the air has to be able to go in between the first side, and then it's also important to do the other side. Again, the same technique using the stand. The third technique, two pieces like this. We put both pieces on the table so we have an even surface. Now the same technique using the stand. Don't forget to glue both sides. You will always see this seam, but the more you practice, the cleaner the seam will be. When you have to glue longer pieces, it's difficult to do it alone. It's also difficult to use the stand. It's easier to do when you have two people, one using the heat gun and the other one using both hands to stick the pieces together. It's also important to use this mouthpiece in the same direction as the seam, so like this and not like this. And also, if you want to glue this long seam, that you don't do it in one try, but that you take smaller portions, glue them, and you work your way like this and do the whole seam. Technique number 4 is to bend the foam. Here we take the foam piece and heat both sides of the foam while we hold it in the desired shape. When you're finished heating the foam, you have to let the foam cool down a little bit while holding it in shape. With the fourth technique, we can also make foam curls. You can use a wooden stick for this, but we prefer a metal or copper stick because it also heats from the inside then. So we take our foam strip, attach the top part, and then turn this. For all the techniques I just showed you, I prefer to use the handheld device or the stand. Some people put the heat gun on the table and try to glue like this. We don't recommend this because you cannot see what's happening underneath. When you use the stand, when you use the handheld, you can always see what's happening. When you place it on the table, you cannot see anything anymore. When the temperature is too high or when you heat too long, then the foam will start to melt and it will look a little bit burnt. You can see the melted foam and you can also smell it a little bit. When you work with foam, it's easy to have fingerprints. They're also very easy to make them disappear just by blowing hot air on them. This doesn't work with burnt foam. So as you have seen, most of the techniques you only need to heat for a second or less. So don't heat too long. Thanks for watching. When you're watching on Facebook, don't forget to share and like this video. When you're watching on YouTube, have a look at our other videos or subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Twitter. If you have any questions, use the contact form on our website or use the comment section below. Thanks for watching.